Today is CZ Custom. We're going to talk a little bit more about barrels. I've been talking about barrels in these last few videos. What I want to show you is our Czech Mate barrels. So these are the Czech Mate barrels that we make here in-house. I got one Stone Factory Czech Mate here. I got an extra upper. So what I want to do is show everyone how the timing of the compensator seems to work. So from the factory, timing on these compensators is really good. They do a really good job, but it is still a factory open gun. If you ever get a chance to play with some of the really high-end open guns out there, you won't see a gap like this. You know, there's that gap there. They'll be almost seamless. But it is a factory-built gun. It does actually have the compensator. And it's a lot of work to actually get those compensators to be that seamless like that. And, of course, they still want to make money and build the guns at a respectable cost. So we're going to take this one apart. Little takedown tool in there. None of you have ever seen how a Czech Mate comes apart. There's your chance to see it. I'm going to go ahead and pull our barrel there. So you wouldn't be able to take this gun apart the rest of the way with this setup the way it is. But at the factory, they purposely leave these where they're not a super tight fit. You know, like you never want to Loctite your compensator so you can still turn it off. So to take this thing completely apart, we have to unscrew our compensator. Yep, it's a lot of threads. You can see it on there. But they also put so many threads on there for the same reason. They don't want it coming loose while from shooting. There's a lot of threads they put in there to make sure that everything's going to stay functional like it's supposed to be. Yeah. Whew. Got so excited I just let it fly. All right. So again, this is our factory Czech Mate barrel. The threads on there. See how they still have the little indentation in the back, and they still have that little takedown thing there. And here's our replacement Czech Mate barrel. And like I've shown you in other videos, we've removed that little dimple and we've removed this little nub sticking out there. Other than that, it's the same barrel. So let's show you how this one times out. Now, I've built a lot of open guns the old-fashioned way, where you're trying to find that seamless look, and it's a lot of hand fitting. So what CZ's done is avoided their hand fitting by leaving that large of a gap. Now, we've done our best in our machine shop to have these barrels time as perfectly as possible so that when they go tight, they're there. See, I'm one turn out, but I've already gotten tight. So I have to tighten that one around the rest of the way. Not too bad, not too tight. And you can see we have just about the same amount of gap as the factory. This one might be a little bit more. The other thing you want to do with any time you get a new barrel is check to make sure that it's not hitting. The best way to do that is put some kind of flashlight or some kind of luminescent behind it and make sure you can see light all the way around where that cone is making contact with the slide. If you don't, if the compensator is actually hitting the slide, you have every opportunity of damaging the threads, possibly knocking your comp into next week. So we don't want to do that. So there's one barrel. I brought two barrels because I really wanted to show people that we're doing our best to be really consistent. But when you luck, you'll actually be able to see one that needs to be fit a little bit. And then, as an example, I can say, see, this one's making contact. Get a drill for this. Run it out. Okay, I was prepared that time. All right, let's try barrel number 2. I pulled these straight out of the CNC shop. They don't even have any markings on them yet. Just to be able to do this video and show you guys how this how these compensators fit. You know, people rarely ever change their compensators on these guns or change their barrels, and it's amazing how you'll still get tired of threading this on, even though you're going to do it once in a very rare occasion. All right, that's pretty tight. Okay, now if you look at that, hopefully you guys can see this in the video that there's about half as much gap as there was with the previous barrel with the same slide and the same compensator. Now, I don't have a light source. Luckily, the table's a nice light color, and I can tell that I still have light all the way through, all the way around the barrel. But we're not actually in battery. So I have to rotate it out a turn. There we go. Now we're in battery. And I still say we got a smaller gap, but now there's no light. There's no light between there. I said I don't think there's going to be a way for you to see this. That's going to show through in this video. So what you want to do with this barrel is take a little bit of material off the front of the slide until you can see light all the way around. It shouldn't be much. We've done a bunch of them at this point. It's going to be a few thousandths of an inch, but you definitely want to make sure that that's not hitting and that there's clearance. And the way to clearance it again would be to remove a little bit of the slide. And if not comfortable, of course, you want to take it to a competent gunsmith, have them do it, or send your whole gun to us so we can make sure your compensators fit to your new barrels. All right, now, I don't think we're going to do too much of this other upper we got here, but I do want to show you the gap that's on it just so you can see some of the differences from the factory gun with the different gaps that we're seeing. And then I got to find the lower for that gun. Somebody brought me the upper. It's around here somewhere. Okay, we'll put that together in a minute. And this is again factory barrel, and you can see the gap about how big it is. About there it was in that other slide, and it's just got the ever smallest sliver of light underneath that compensator. So out to the side. Go ahead and put this together so you can just see how it reassembles. Use factory barrel this time. I've been playing with the AO1s a little too long. The barrels actually go in from the front. Back to that really long thread. Okay. Looks about right. You have to put these together where you drop the assembly in and then slowly move the barrel forward a little bit. Uh-oh, where'd my pin go? To be able to get it to go together like that. Then once it's all the way forward, just hold on to your takedown tool, push that assembly forward just enough to get that guy out. And there you go. And one reassembled checkmate. All right, hopefully that answers some questions about our barrels. Also, you know that we do make them. So if you need a replacement barrel for your checkmate, we have them available. Thanks. Have fun shooting.